You cannot achieve external success when you're fighting an internal battle. The money, the girl, the cars, the dream job, all of these are far, far behind when you live in a state of survival. Worrying about a past that is left behind or a future that may never happen. See, I know this all too well. I migrated to the United States at the age of 10 years old with my 12 siblings, 6 brothers and 6 sisters, plus mom and dad. There was 15 of us, yes, 15 of us. We lived in a 2-bedroom, 1-bath frame home, less than 900 square feet. The boys would sleep in the living room in sleeping bags, and the girls, they had their own room with bunk beds. Mom had a 6th grade education and dad had a 3rd grade. Mom was 15 years old and dad 18 when they got married. There were children raising children. Father was a hard worker and mother was a great homemaker. However, there was a lot of dysfunction at home from sexual abuse to illiteracy and poverty. I often say that we were so poor, I could not afford a dream. However, in the midst of all that dysfunction, there was a sick, unconditional, dysfunctional love from mother and an unwavering hard work ethic and resourcefulness from dad. At some point, you have to look for the good things in your life and you have to make the best with them. So I grew up, all I wanted to do was to run away from where I came from. I believed that if I made enough money, if I had the right car, the right girl, the right home, everything was going to be okay. So I chased the material possessions and I got them, but I had a bottomless hole in the center of my soul that nothing could fill, because everywhere I went, there was a 10-year-old broken little boy that migrated to the United States. There was abuse, that lived in poverty, and no matter what he accomplished, he was not good enough. See, even though I was no longer broke, I was still broken. I was not healed. I was still living in a state of survival. I was still living the way my parents and society conditioned me to survive, but not to thrive. So even though my surroundings had changed, I had not. My thinking was still the same, and I kept taking that 10-year-old little boy into the marriage, into the relationships, into the partnerships, and into the boardroom. And when the fear, the insecurity, the I don't belong here, or the impostor syndrome will come in, that little boy would come out and destroy everything that he had worked so hard to build. Self-sabotaging. It was not until I recognized that I needed to go back, I needed to embrace that young boy, I needed to tell him he was okay, I was okay, and let him go, that my life began to change. See, I needed to exit that state of survival. I needed to tend to more just chasing money. See, today I believe that as humans we operate from 5 pillars: the physical, the mental, the emotional, the spiritual, and the financial. However, we were only taught to work hard to survive. We were not taught to thrive, and we neglect our pillars. But when we take care of ourselves, when we tend to the physical, the mental, the emotional, the spiritual, and the financial, you are able to exit that state of survival. You become present and in the now, and you begin to see your life with clarity and possibilities, operating now from a state of flow. See, when you live in a state of survival, you cannot afford to dream. You cannot afford to see your potential, and therefore you can't see anyone else's. But with clarity, with possibilities, and with education, everything changes. See, education is not just about going to college, because the reality is that not everyone needs to go to college, but we all need an education. And education is simply understanding what you know, what you don't know, what you need to learn, and in many of cases, what we need to unlearn. See, education is breaking through your personal growth and into becoming excelente.